I'm back again, and this is our third lesson. So what we're going to do, look what happened. So after I dried it, and another tip, when you dry it with the hair dryer, don't dry it down on the paper. Lift it, when it's really pooly, the water, lift it up a little higher so that it doesn't push the water around. Kind of dry it from up on top. But see what it did? It tightened up like I told you. I got it nice and tight after I dried it with the hair dryer, and it dried about, I'd say, 3 shades lighter like it usually does. But we're going to put these lines on later. That'll be the last thing we do, and you'll see it kind of come to life. So what we're going to do next is we're going to start on our boat. And again, I got rid of the salmon, the peach color. Peach color's gone. So what I did is I took ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, and I put it over here. And then I took ultramarine blue and cerulean blue over here, and I put black with it. And from now on, those are the only colors we're going to use in the rest of the painting. We're not going to add any others. So I got rid of the peach color, and we're just going to use the blues. So let's start out with our little boat. It's pretty easy. So now we're doing, you've heard me talk about dry brush. We're going to do some dry brush. So this was our wet and wet. Now we're going to do our dry brush. So let's start on our little boat. I've got like a number, I'm going to go small. I think this is a number 3, too. Yeah, this is a number 3 because the boat is so tiny. Kind of a pain in the neck. And we'll also use a liner when we do the little lines on the boat. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to, first off, I'm going to take the ultramarine blue and the cerulean blue, and I'm going to start at the tip of my little boat. And you know, if you want to add a little bit of black to it, I had added a little bit of black to it, you can. I'm just going to start at the tip. And I hope you can see this. I'm going to try to tilt it for you. It kind of gives me a good spot to start. And I can, remember, you can always go darker. You just can't go lighter. And I'm going to go ahead. This is the little front part. And forgive me, I am not a boat person, so I do not know the boat jargon. So there's your blue. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a little bit of water. I'm going to sugar my brush in the water. And I'm going to pull this. And if it's not pulling a lot, get some more water. Get some more water on there, and let's just pull it. See how it's kind of moving a little bit better. And we can add a little bit more blue to that as we're going. We're kind of going to the back of the boat. You know, when I added the water, it's kind of, I'm not gobbing the water on. I have some control so it's not swimming all over the place. But what I'm doing, I'm just kind of, we'll go to the end of the boat. And then what I can do, I've got it and I can see where it's blue. Then I can take some more of the blue from the top and just pull it and it'll swim back. It's kind of a good, the color will stay where you got it wet. And I won't put the black lines on here until last. When it dries, when it's nice and dry again, I can do some of these. This is where I put black with the blue, a lot more black with the blue, and that's where I put that on. So I've got that. That looks pretty good, and I can just keep messing around with that. Kind of go a little darker. That looks, so it's a little bit lighter as it goes to the back end of the boat. And what you can do too, you can even take a brush that doesn't have a lot of water in it that you kind of squeeze with your napkin and you can pull it. That looks pretty good. Then what I'm going to do, remember I add a little bit of black. I can just kind of go back and forth. If I want the blue a little grayer, here's where I put the black with the ultramarine blue and the cerulean blue. Kind of have some different shades here. Remember, add more water if you want the color lighter. Now I want to be really careful because I don't want to do the cabin, because if I do that now, what'll happen, it'll run into the boat, right? So maybe I've got this lighter gray color. I'm just going to kind of hit some, there's like a little engine thing back here. If you want it lighter, just kind of get your brush wet and kind of daub it. There's like a little, I don't know what that is. You can just look at the picture and you see the different blues in here, and I'm just going to kind of put the lighter blues. So what I'll do is I'll hit all the lighter blues. I think this is a sail right here. So it's almost like paint by number. I'm just going to look at it and fill in all the different colored blues. We got the medium blues. There's a little sail here, and if I want it darker, remember I can come back where I've added the black to it. Could add a little bit more black if I want it grayer, and just kind of, I'm really watching how much paint I've got on my brush, and I'm working with the number 3. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to kind of slowly, again, go back and forth, and maybe we've got a lighter blue. This might have lightened up enough, really watered down that blue-gray that we had mixed. Here's the cabin. I might just pull some of the color up in here, because it's almost white. So see what I'm doing right now. Remember, I always tell you we're kind of doing the junky stuff. When you get the dark stuff in, it kind of comes together. There's a little ball that's in the water that you'll see. Just kind of paint that in, and it's going to have a little darker. It'll have a little darker thing. A little darker thing later. What else do we see? So there's a cabin. There's some like little light things here. There's a little dark thing right here. And again, it's the same colors. I just might have put a little bit of black with it. There's a little thingy here. Remember, and you can always go, and I'm just going to put some little stuff in it. Just kind of jazz it up a little bit. And then I might even just use a real light touch. That's kind of connected. That thing, you can take your napkin and just give it a quick daub, and that'll lighten that up a little bit. So what I want you to do is we're just going to kind of do all the darker blues, the light blues, and maybe some blue with some black in it.